Welcome to Notable Approvals. I am attorney Amanda Shaffer. I've been off for a little and haven't done notable approval in a couple of weeks, but I have an exciting one to talk about today. Before I get to it, just a reminder to like us, follow us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all of that so that you do not miss another notable approval or any other of our upcoming lives. Today's case is about a client who is a native and citizen of Nigeria. She first came to the U.S. in 2016 with a B2 visitor visa. About 2 years later, she married a U.S. citizen, and he then filed concurrently the I-130 marriage petition along with her adjustment of status application for her green card. What was interesting about this case, well, I'll say this first thing. Sometimes delays are not the worst thing in the world. It took them a little while to get the evidence together, but because of that, by the time they had their green card interview, they were already married for over 2 years. And when you're married for more than 2 years, at the time of your interview, instead of getting a conditional green card, where 2 years later you need to file another application to get your 10-year, she automatically got a 10-year. And it was only by 2 months because she was married in like September of 2018. The interview was November of 2020. So you never know. I always tell my clients there's a reason why when they're pushing me to get their applications out, if we're missing evidence or we don't have enough marriage evidence, I say, look, we shouldn't do this until we're ready, because you never know what's going to happen. And, I always say everything happens for a reason. But what was so great about this case, and this was an interview I enjoyed attending. Some of the interviews don't always go as planned, but this one was 18 minutes. It only took 18 minutes to get approved. And that was the I-130 portion and the green card portion where they go through security questions. Why did it get approved in 18 minutes? Well, there was a little luck involved. It was luck of who the officer was. This officer was very experienced, and he didn't feel the need to ask her every single question on the form because he knew that a lot of them just wouldn't apply. There are some officers that will ask every single question, but that's usually the easy part anyway, unless she had no criminal history, she entered with a visa. So that portion of the interview, we don't expect to have too many problems. But what was surprising was how quickly the marriage portion went. And it was even more surprising when you look at the marriage documents that we submitted. We only had a few things actually for them. And then they actually were clients that I was kind of pushing to get more, but they brought some more to the interview. But what we submitted with the application was just a letter from the landlords, some cards they wrote to each other for birthdays that were very detailed, wedding photos of them with family and friends. And that's not a lot of evidence. Ideally, you're going to have more. Now, I know they opened a joint bank account that they used a lot. They brought that to the interview. I think they brought like life insurance to the interview. So they had a little bit more. But what it really came down to was the questions. When the officer was asking the questions, he could tell that they knew the answers. They weren't fishing for the answers. He was satisfied with their responses. And like I said, this is one of the shortest interviews that I've gone to. Even clients that we have a million pieces of evidence for sometimes just get incessantly questioned. So it is a bit of a luck of the draw. But what's important is that you know each other and you can answer the questions, and that as long as you have a decent amount of evidence on paper to back you up, you're going to be fine. So, it's definitely notable in how quickly it was approved, especially in light of, I've never seen it this quick with that little evidence, but that's because of just the way these two were interacting with each other in front of the officer. They're trained to be able to tell if you're lying, if you have a real relationship. So they can tell how you're interacting. That's going to give them clues. They're going to pick up on body language. So everything is important in this process. But especially when you go into that interview, people are always nervous, understandably. But you have to not be nervous and trust that, look, this is a real marriage. I love my husband, my wife, whoever. I have no doubt that it's a real marriage, so I should have nothing to worry about. And if you would like an attorney to represent you at the interview, We are for hire. I'd be happy to. We're also, obviously, you can hire us if you would like us to help you with the whole process. That is all today for notable approvals. I'll be back on Monday. I'll have another exciting case to talk about. Don't remember to like us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all those places that we are, so that you don't miss another live. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there and have a great day.